This conference will now be recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
So, let's get into our subject, and we'll start with our domain one. So last time I have told you, right, what are the domains are there, everything.
Yeah. Yes.
So today we'll start directly from the domain one. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Tomorrow timings, right?
Morning 7:30 to 9:30, I was told.
Right. Excellent. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me share my screen quickly.
Yeah.
Hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, for CISA, last time I told you what you need to remember is nothing else. As long as you understand, then
Yeah.
it's up. So you need to understand
Okay.
proper concept. Okay. The
Okay.
conceptually that you are hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Tell me.
Conceptually make sure that because there is nobody is going to ask you 2 plus 3 equal to how much, right? What you will try to understand whether your concept is clear. And there are one modules where probably you need to know few terms that I'll tell you. Okay.
Okay.
And few
Okay.
you may find it suitable because I believe that you are doing CA, right?
Yeah, I am. An
This
independent
conference will
opinion
now
on
be
how things are.
recorded.
All right. So
We
now,
we, we make judgments and we express our opinion on how things
your voice is not clear, Dipti.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but your voice is, not noise. I would say it's not clear to me.
Okay. Yeah, is it better now?
It's slightly dropping in between.
Okay. Because my
Are
Wi-Fi
you
connection is all fine.
on the headset?
No, I'm on speaker.
Okay, perfect. I think chalo, let's do.
Yeah.
So now, what do you audit? Now you are also doing some audit, right? What do you audit?
Yeah. So we usually audit financial information.
Right. Okay.
The
So if I have
balance
to ask
sheet
you,
and P&L. Yeah.
if I have to ask you 3 steps, 3 things
Okay.
which you do during your audit, what would be your answer? Very basic way.
We will plan, execute, and report.
Perfect. Same thing. Now you plan, execute, and support for your banking or any financial systems, right?
Yeah. Report. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, what we will do, we will talk about information systems. Only this is different. Here also we will do the same thing: plan, execute, and support. Okay.
Yeah.
There is no difference.
Yeah.
Now when we talk about auditing of information system, it's nothing but there is certain standards which you need to follow, right? Now
Okay.
let's
Yeah.
see. I'm trying to compare with whatever basic knowledge I have about accountancy, but very less.
Yeah.
So now you cannot make new rules, right? You can audit, but there is a certain rules you have to follow. Let's say if you have to raise
Correct.
an invoice, you have to give a GST bill in case you have more than 20 lakhs, right?
Yes. Wow. Yes. Correct.
Right. Now who decides that? There is a certain bodies, probably government finance, what do you call, finance ministry or somebody, they define the rule set and you have to follow the rule set, right?
Correct.
TDS earlier it was 10%, now they made it 7.5%. You cannot say
Yeah.
that no, look, I'll give you 15% TDS. No, it doesn't work that way, right?
No,
Same
it
way
doesn't. Correct.
about IS audit. IS audit means information security or information system audit. You also
Yeah.
have to follow certain guidelines, right? You have to
Okay.
follow the and then you have to audit it. Now there are
Okay.
so different guidelines are there. For example,
Mm.
we are going to talk about it in later stages also, but uh, maybe I'll just tell it little advanced. Let's say, for example, will you audit any financial, right? In
Yeah.
terms of information security, then you follow probably something called PCI DSS. Okay, PCI DSS
PCI DSS. Okay.
PCI, yeah. So that's stands for payment card industry, right?
Okay. Okay.
Same way, let's say for you talk about healthcare. Okay. Healthcare, you have called HIPAA.
What was it?
HIPAA, HIPPA.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
for example, let's say you talk about which example I can take. Health ho gaya, PCI ho gaya. For IT, they follow ISO 27 ISMS, right?
Okay.
For that, there are so many standards. We have a different module altogether. What I'm trying to say is, when you talk about IS audit, you have to follow certain standards. We cannot make our own rules. Like for example, you have SOC 2 audit, right? For the financial technical audit, we call SOC 2.
Okay.
SOC, right? That also is audit. For that, we have, let's say, 20 controls, for example. For PCI, we may have 12 controls. So different standards you have to follow according to what is the customer requirement or regulatory or statutory requirement. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now see here, the first thing which you have already mentioned. What did you say for audit ke liye? Planning, right?
Planning. Yeah.
The same thing. The first thing we do is plan. Now when you do planning, so few of the things we need to remember, right? First, IS audit standards, the standard which I've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
Then we have a guideline and code of ethics. This is the basic principle. And then you also need to understand the business processes. Until unless you understand business process, you cannot audit.
Okay.
Right? Because you do not audit same thing for everyone. Now you say that GST is applicable. For example, I'm saying, or you say that every shop under BBMP has a business license, right?
Correct.
But the food side vendor, do they have a license?
No.
No. Can you ask them for a license?
You can, but it's of no use.
Exactly. So these are the certain areas you need to understand. So understanding business process is very important. You just cannot say, look, we are a bank. Even there is a huge difference, even bank to bank, right? There is a microfinance. There is, cooperative banks. There are, different ways you need to say it. You just cannot put all of them in a same categories, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Understanding business process is very important. And then type of controls. Now, when you talk about controls, I'm coming in details about all of them, but I'm just giving you a high level.
Yeah.
And type of controls, you have different controls. Every time you just cannot put a security guard in front of your gate and say, look, I'm secure now because I have a security guard with machine guns standing in front of your gate. Probably to have more controls in terms of having a CCTV, making sure your door is locked, right? Even if your door houses a system, you just do not have one security, you have multiple security, right? Now, let's say you have a lock in the door, you again lock the gate, right?
Correct.
People stay, when they go to washroom, they even lock the washroom, they even lock their bedroom. There's multiple security features, people install CCTVs. So these are the controls I mean. Now when we talk about controls, there are mainly 3 different type of controls you need to understand. One thing is administrative control. Okay, for example, when you join organizations, what does it do? They make you sign an offer letter, right?
Yeah.
So what is that? That's it from the administrative side. They say you agree that you will not share the confidential data with anybody.
Yeah.
What else if you share? Is there any way they can figure it out? No.
No.
Or probably yes. But they still have administrative control. Because you signed a legal document. After that, for you not to share the document, they put so many softwares in your laptop, right? Probably
Correct.
an antivirus so that you cannot copy. That is the technical control.
Yeah.
And then when you come to your office, they make sure that you have an access card, punching, all this, so that nobody can steal your laptop physically.
Correct.
That's the physical control, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
trying to protect something or doing an audit, you need to look at those controls in those aspects. You just cannot say, look, you need to have an antivirus, you need to have this. So you have to segregate the controls in a proper way, okay?
Okay.
And then you also need to understand the risk when you do the audit. You cannot just say, look, I'm coming for a bank audit. Uh, I need to check all the transaction so that stop doing the transaction for next 1 hour. Because during the audit, whatever the transaction you will do, I cannot track that.
Correct.
But I cannot do stop all the transactions. They have to do it, and in between you have to audit. So you have to understand the risk when you do a proper audit.
Okay.
And basically, next is the type of audit and assessment. So we'll talk about different type of audit and assessment there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is the next thing?
Audit project management. Execution part of it.
Right?
Yeah.
You knew
Yeah.
all this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about execution, you need to have a proper project management. You just cannot go and say, look, I need this today, I need that today, right? You need to have a proper
Yeah.
plan. And then so that the other party also can follow and make things available whenever you need.
Yeah.
And then when you do audit, you just cannot look at everything, yeah. Correct. There are so
Correct.
many things. So what you have to do is you have to do sampling.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people has a misconceptions about sampling. They assume sampling means out of 100 just take one. That's not a sampling, right? There is a proper
No.
method of sampling. Now when you test something in the shop, you apply it every day, right? When you
Correct.
go somewhere, take some decision based on so many items, right? You do sampling. Suppose you have your favorite shop or favorite e-commerce website from where you purchase something. You've done your research based on feedback, based on you've done some sampling. It's not that you have tested everything and said, oh, look, this is good. No. Right. And then
Yeah.
how do you collect the evidence? Now, every time you audit needs a proof. You as a CA, right, cannot sign the document end of the day saying that, look, they have filed taxes, everything is fine and everything is done. No, you probably need a TDS challan copy, GST challan copy, this, that, income tax proof, form 16, lot of things, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So without evidences, you cannot do audit, and there's the technique also how to do the evidence. And then followed by your data analytics, and then obviously how do you report and communicate, right?
Yeah.
Because you terms I do not understand, right? And when you go to information system audit to any organization and say, look, you need to put a CCTV. For example, I'm telling this is I have faced.
Okay.
Like one of the organizations I have gone there, I said there is no CCTV. You need to put a CCTV.
Okay.
Now put the CCTV, but they have put CCTV such a way that it is not capturing all the areas. Right? So you have to tell them how to put the CCTV and why to put the CCTV so
Yeah.
that they understand the importance. I told like how this I calculated how many CCTV. I said okay, here one. I have done my calculation. I said 4 CCTV camera is required. They probably called a vendor and then they said, oh, put the CCTV. My auditor said 4 camera is required. They put 4 wherever they wanted. So it is my mistake, right?
Yeah.
That I properly communicated in a proper way. Okay. And then one more example I can give it to you. Like a lot of times I have seen when people go to audit, they say for physical, they say, oh, do not have a fire extinguisher. You need to have a fire extinguisher. Now they buy a fire extinguisher. You also need to understand whether it's a type A, type B, or type C, right?
Okay.
Fire extinguisher, there is a different types. Whenever if you see any fire extinguisher in your office or anywhere, there will be a label.
Yeah.
a type. Do you know that? Firewall, fire extinguisher type.
What?
Do you know that the type of fire extinguisher?
I didn't know that there were types. I know
So
it's based on volume or something, but I didn't know there were types in it.
yeah, next time whenever you see any fire extinguisher, the level.
Okay.
They will say either it's a type A, type B, or type C. But
Okay.
some fire extinguisher also say it's a type ABC, means it covers all of them.
Okay.
So there are times auditor goes and say you need to put 2 fire extinguisher. They go and buy any fire extinguisher. Now there is a difference, right? Aviation fuel is there, electricity is there, wooden fire is there, gas fire is there. Everything is a different. So this also you need to look at how do you communicate. And then obviously quality assurance and improvement of the audit process is very, very important. If there is no proper quality assurance, and then if you do not improve the audit process, then the audit will be, it's a continuous process, right? It's not that you've done it and then it's over. You have to properly
No,
maintain it
we
as
have follow up and to see if they're following our recommendations properly.
right.
It's a continuous process, yeah.
Okay. Now remember one of the important notes I have given. Past domain will actually have around 21% of question in your CISA exam. Okay.
Okay,
So in
21%.
CISA exam, it's a hypothetical number. Okay, but most likely you will have around 21% of questions for the CISA exam. Okay?
Yeah. I just have one question. So
Yes.
the CISA exam is for 150 marks, right? So how do they convert it into 800 and they say that 450 is the pass?
Sorry, come again.
CISA exam is for 150 marks, 150 questions. So
Right.
how do they convert it out of 800 and they say that 450 marks is pass?
Okay, very good questions. So basically what they do is there's a different weightage for questions. So it's not that
Okay.
every question is 1 marks. Some question is 2
Okay.
points, some question is 4 points, depending on the length, probably toughness. They give a weightage based on that.
Okay.
That's why it is 150, and then totally you have to have a bug pointer is different. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So then, so basically the objectives of this domain, as an auditor, you always need to clean the audit properly, whether the information systems are protected, controlled, and you need to also the organizations. Okay.
Okay.
You
Okay.
need to conduct the audit as per the highest audit standards, right? You need to
Okay.
communicate the audit process. You have to show them the findings, the results, and also you need to give the recommendation. Because when you go to a doctor just do not say, "Oh, look, you have a fever." They also tell you how to mitigate that, right? So giving the proper the stakeholder is very important. And the stakeholder that will decide in the beginning of the IS audit. And any audit, you need to always do the audit follow-up and evaluate the things in regular basis to see if the risk is properly addressed. Right? It shouldn't be like you CCTV camera and they install it's done. You need to go and take probably last 1 month log if it is running every time or sometime it is working. That also need to look at. Okay. And then obviously you have to give them the quality of the services. And then how to systems in the proper control manner. Okay, and if there is any opportunity you see or if there is any scope you identify where there is a improvement can be done, you should always do it. Because it's not like today you say 4 camera, tomorrow they may come with a 4 camera. They may expand their physical space, and you may need one more camera to be installed, right? Or probably the system which you followed uh, might have changed. Like I was talking about PCI process. 3 years before, the controls which we applied, today it is not the same. It has increased, right? Like a lot of systems change because when you talk about IT, things change very frequently. So you cannot have your standards which is 10 years old. Even the standards keep on changing, more or less controls comes into picture. Accordingly, you have to make those changes.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's talk about the planning. Now again, when you, I think there is some little noise from, not noise. I think some your speaker, I believe. I'm not sure if it is mine.
Uh, I am able to clear you. I mean, hear you. I don't have.
Can you do
I
one
mean,
thing?
yeah.
When I speak, you can just mute yourself, and when you speak, you can just unmute and speak.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
it work?
sure, sure. I'll do that.
Or,
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yep. Okay, fine.
okay. The next one, I mean, again here, if you really see that let me just show you some example. I'm coming to that part. So here, what we are doing basically, I think we have already actually discussed this. So now we are going to talk about the same things here, the planning phases, audit standard, guidelines, code of ethics, the same thing. We are just going to talk in little details. Okay. So let me just go about it. So as audit standards, we are going to talk about the standards, guideline, and the code of ethics. All right. Now, so now when you talk about informal examinations or interview, or even when you meet the customer first time for the audit, right? What is very important that you go and interview them, talk to them, understand them, and then you also need to tell them what is applicable and what is not applicable, right? Because they may not know that these are the certain things which may applicable to them. So when you go, you have to look if the information systems are in compliance with the applicable laws, regulations, contracts, or any industry guideline. That is the first thing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
For example, I can just give a small example to you. I mean, still it has not passed in the parliament. Now people are talking that, let's say for you're doing a audit for any banking sector in terms of information system or information security. Now they are saying that, okay, you want to put your data in the cloud, but the data center should be there in India itself. You should not use a data center which is in China or Pakistan, right? That is not compliant according to the applicable laws. So the laws are probably coming in. So what they say is India's data should lie within India. Your office may be in Chennai, but your data center can be in Mumbai, but not in South Africa. Okay. And then you cannot say, look, I'm a bank, I follow all the guidelines from PCI DSS, because they are the one who define the compliance and etc etc.
So
You should
PCI DSS is applicable for banks, is it?
not only for the banks, anybody who deal with card holder information.
Okay. So for example, if you see phone pay also, they'll put PCI DSS compliant and also those sort of things.
Yes. Now, for
Okay.
example, I repeat, anybody who deals with card holder information.
Card holder information.
Not that I do NEFT, I do not need. If I have a card, the debit card, credit card. So basically, they have to. Anybody who process, store, or transit. These three keywords you have to remember: process, store, or transit. Cardholder information, they have to be PCI compliant. I have done PCI DSS implementation for one of the call center. Now you guess why I have done it, or why they had to do PCI DSS. Can you connect?
So call centers, maybe, when they're taking queries regarding refunds and all, they might actually get card holder details. Or the call
Exactly.
center is actually linked to some retail house or something like that. So
Exactly.
yeah,
So they basically, one
yeah,
of them is a collection team, credit card.
yeah. Okay.
Call and say, right, sir, you have this much of due, you have to pay this. So they are not a bank employees, okay? Bank outsource it to a third party.
Outsourcing, okay.
And they said these are the defaulter who did not make the payment, call them and irritate.
Okay.
Right? But
Yeah.
what they share? They share the cardholder name, right? So that's information, isn't it? Right? So sharing the informations is important. They share your last 4 digit of account number. They share your name. So these are the information who. So I told it's not only the bank. Anyone who store, process, or transact. Phone Pay, what they do? They probably process. They may not store. They actually store it, right? They tell you to save the card.
Yeah, yeah.
They also store as well. So only for them it is applicable. So you have to understand what is applicable. Now coming to the point, you as a bank, when I go for an audit, you cannot say that, look, I'm a PCI DSS XYZ. I said, okay, fine, cool. But do you follow the RBI guidelines also? Right? That is important. If you follow RBI guidelines, it's okay. Then PCI DSS come later. But as per the applicable laws, regulations, RBI is the governing body.
Yeah.
Follow. And RBI also talks about PCI. That's a different story. But some country may say, okay, I don't care. Okay, and PCI is not a government organizations. It has been formed by Visa, Master, American Express, Rupee. So they are company, right?
Yeah.
Visa is a Master is a company. I mean,
Yeah.
so they have formed because they are the one who issue the card. RBI does
Correct.
not issue the card. HDFC doesn't have a card. ICICI doesn't have a card. You have to understand that. Every card is either Visa, Master, Rupee, Maestro, MX, right? ICICI, HDFC, SBI doesn't have their own card. End of the day, it's a Visa, Master. One more small information that I want to give it to you.
Yeah.
That UPI has launched, right? This Google Pay, or Phone Pay, Paytm, all these.
Yeah.
Visa, Master, MX, they are in loss.
Correct. Because
People stop swiping now. They just scan and pay,
correct.
right? So these are like more that will understand more. But you are getting it, right? Those are the
Yeah,
important. One thing what you have learned today, we have more insight, but PCI is one of the questions will come from there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Anything related to PCI? What
What is
questions are
the
coming?
what is the expansion of PCI DSS?
It's payment card industry,
Okay.
and DSS for data security standards.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool. So
Yeah.
now, and again, you also have to have proper levels of confidentiality. Sorry, you also have to have a proper level of. Can you see my screen? Yeah. You also have to have a proper level of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Right? Some data confidentiality is more important. Some integrity is more important, and some places availability is more important. Right? What was more important for our session today? That 7 to 8 o'clock during this 1 hour, we should be available.
Correct.
Right? So integrity is when I'm again, this is important terms. Okay, integrity is what? Now I'm saying PCI is for payment card industry, right?
Correct.
Now suppose I am talking about payment card industry, and somebody in between changing the voice, because end of the day it's on the network, right? Whether it's a where we have connected, what is this called? I forgot the name.
Go to meetings.
Yeah. Now somebody may change it in the network and say PCI means payment card information. Then somehow they have hacked my communication before it reached to you from my home to your home. They changed it in between. So basically, the integrity has changed. So what is integrity? We have to make sure that the file which has been sent in the source are same in the destination.
Okay.
That's integrity. Because every time, everything in the network, there is a communication happening. You are sending WhatsApp messages, you are sending money to somebody, right? You are sending emails, right? Now, how do you maintain the integrity? For example, let's say, you know, there is a different concept like header, checksum, and all these are like technical controls you put. Okay, but you understood the concept of integrity, right?
Yeah, I understood integrity.
Availability,
That is
you understood.
basically the data should not change when it is being
Ah,
transferred or stored and recovered or something. The
so what is
essence of
that
the
concept called? That concept called
integrity.
data in transit and data at rest.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now, see in CISA, they may say integrity has changed in data in transit. Means during the communication,
Transmission from one place to another, the data has changed.
that is data in transit. Another is data at rest. Means you store it somewhere. Okay. It might be possible. I know that this conference is being recorded, right? I am trying to teach out of my best knowledge. Now tomorrow somebody to spoil my reputation, they may keep the recording and change the word, right? There is so many editing software has come, correct? And if they change it and say this is Pranav's, this one, I have to identify. For example, are you in front of the system?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share your screen?
I'm actually using a tablet.
Okay, then let me share my screen and let me show you. Okay, my screen is already shared, but I have to share all the window. Hold on. How do I do that? Screen. Okay. You can see my screen, right?
It's loading. Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Now, let's say I'm creating a file.
Okay.
Right, that a video is recording. Sorry, my audio is recording. Tomorrow, some alter it and give it to somebody else, and say this is how Pranav teach, and they modified it. Right now, how do I protect my interest? Now, how do you know? How do I claim that? Look, it is not me. It has been edited. You'll say, no, Pranav, it's your voice. I have to prove it somewhere, right?
Correct.
Now, suppose this is a file. I am saying my name is Pranav. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to save this file.
Okay.
Let me save it to a desktop. Okay. And file name is CISA. Oops. CISA. Save the file. Now, suppose this file I have given to whom I can give. Let's say I've given to Nirmala Dimple. Okay.
Okay.
The training material. Share it with Dipti. What they have done, they have changed some content, or probably delete one slide or one word even, or even page they have given extra. That also integrated change. You should not touch.
Yes.
I have given you. You should rename the file also. I've given in a pen drive. Just give it. That's all. Even if you delete one word, that also integrity violation. Agreed?
Correct.
Now what I'm going to do is hash generate hash for integrity. I mean, you don't have to see. In fact, this is very theoretical questions. But still, when you see it, you understand it better. That's why I'm just trying hash for file. Suppose
Hash is like encryption or something, right?
no, hash is not encryption. Hash is a one-way function. Encryption is encryption. Hashing is hashing. Okay.
What's the difference between the two?
There is nothing called d hash. Okay.
Okay.
Encryption is a decryption. Encryption is a two-way function, right? You can encrypt,
Correct.
decrypt.
And
Hash is only
decrypting.
one way. You cannot do d hash.
Okay.
Hash is maintained for integrity. Okay.
Okay.
I'll talk more about it. We have a different module. Let's not get into the difference and confuse ourselves, okay?
Yeah, okay.
But there are different algorithms for hash, like MD5, SHA, okay? Now, let's say I'm just going to use MD5. I'm choosing the file, and the file name is CISA.txt, which is in my desktop. Agree?
Yeah.
You see that? Hash. What is the hash? I'll copy the hash. I'll just open one more notepad file, and I will share this. I'll share this with you. Okay. I said, hey Deepthi, I've shared the course material and the hash. We talk about checksum. We actually say it's a checksum, and the checksum is this. So once the file reaches to you, you can see the integrity. Okay. Now let's. Now what is the notepad file? This is the notepad file, right?
Yeah.
Now what I'm going to do is only this. I have given my name is Pranav.
Okay.
Somebody making changes from small to capital P. Small changes, right?
Yeah. Small changes.
Small changes. I'm just saving the file. Now this is the old one, right?
Yeah, old one.
Now I'm just uploading the new one. Same file name, okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, did I not generate? Let me just generate once. Choose file. CISA. Refresh. Choose file. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is our old one, right?
Correct.
Is it same?
No, it's not.
And what changes I've done?
You
Only
just made it a caps. You made P a caps.
One small changes the entire hash. It is not that one character or two character it will change, okay?
Okay.
Even if you give a white space, it will be different. Now
Yeah.
assume that I've given you this header and I have given the file to somebody. I can always say that this is the header checksum. Anybody make any changes,
Okay.
and change, and I'll detect, boss, this is not the original file. Integrity is violated. Got my point?
Yeah.
Right? Now let me show you some places where how they follow it. Now I'm going to download, right?
Yeah.
Now say I'm just trying to download some OS. Now, can you see in the right side?
Yes. Yeah. Some numbers, alphabets. Yeah.
In the torrent, there are so many files in the same name.
Okay.
But what they say, my file checksum is this. This is the original one from their website. So if you download any file in the same name, if the checksum is this, then it is the original file of us.
Okay.
But anybody can share you any other operating system in the same name with the same size, right?
Yeah.
So this is how they maintain the integrity of the file. Same way you do the integrity of the applications and everything.
So that hash function, that one line will be generated for the entire file, no matter how many pages or whatsoever it is.
Exactly. It could be for a file, could be for a URL, could be for a. You can generate hash for anything.
Okay. So now let's say you send me the file and I try to generate hash in my system. It will be the same, is it?
Same. You want to try?
No, you can send it to me. I can try, but yeah, I don't have my system right now. But yeah, so basically that file will always, will always generate the same hash.
Same hash means, see, I have generated MD5, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You should not generate SHA-1. That's a different algorithm. As long as you use the same algorithm.
Okay, so these are all different algorithms, but yeah, I understood. Okay.
Now in this website,
that's interesting.
This website, they have used SHA-256.
Okay.
Right, where I was showing, right, this download 4 GB file.
Yeah.
SHA-256. So if I have to cross validate, if I download the right file, so I also have to use 256.
Okay.
So whenever I'll give you the check.
Yeah.
You also remember that it's a MD5.
Okay.
I'll also tell you the algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay, ये हो गया अपना integrity.
Okay. Interesting.
And then
Yeah.
availability, you understand, right?
Yeah.
Availability
Yeah.
means you go to hdfc.bank.com. Right now, when you say transfer money, do you take the money from one place and then put it at that? No, right? It's all virtual,
Correct.
right? You don't take 1 lakh rupees and put in my account. Now, when you say I have like 50 lakhs bank balance, for example, do I actually have the 50 lakhs with me? You say, okay, give me 1,000 rupees in my hand. Can I give it?
No.
No. Now, but I have 50 lakhs. But suppose I'm transferring the money from my account to your account, 5 lakhs rupees. My bank says, look, there is no money in the bank. It is not an ATM, right? That there is no money. It's a virtual system. It should be available. Now, how do you go to ATM and put the card and say there is no money? That's a part of your basic systems. It is a right as a consumer. We should have rights. When you go to the ATM, it should be there.
Correct.
The service is not available. How many times? And so what's wrong with these people? So anything you talk about, security means availability, integrity, and confidentiality should be there,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Now, see, one thing is out of stock is one more thing. When you talk about a lot of people say, e-commerce said this out of stock. I said that's okay. Out of stock is different thing. But after you place the order and paid the money, they should not tell you out of stock. That's wrong.
Correct. Yep.
Context changes things, right? Now, during when they load the money in ATM, it's okay. It will not be available. I understand because the maintenance is going on. But when there is no maintenance, ATM should not be running out of money.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Bank closed on Saturday, Sunday, it's okay. But I can still do the transaction through NEFT. That's called. They should not say that the cashier is not available in bank, so you cannot do NEFT. So context very, very important terms: confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you stay somewhere near airport?
No. I don't. I stay in Whitefield.
Okay, that's a bike. I think I thought it's an aircraft. Something was going.
No.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then next is confidentiality. Confidentiality work like you have your tab pe apna, you have your PIN number, right, or fingerprint or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Your Gmail, your name, password. These all are confidential information. Your bank balance is confidential. So you always need to. So whenever you do audit, you have to have these three things in mind: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And proper level should be there. These things, integrity, these things should be confidential, and this thing should be always available. Okay, so you have to do it efficiently so that you can achieve your target. That's a simple thing. And as you said, so the main way how you do it: first you do audit planning, then you do the execution with the proper field work and documentation, and then obviously the reporting and follow up, right? Okay, what should be the IS auditor skill? Now look, you know right that CISA is from ISACA.
Yeah.
Okay, same way when you do CISSP, that is from IC square. So they are the one who make standards, right? Now you may find different places. You may find different places which may say IS auditor skill should be they should have 3 hands, for example. Right? Now ISACA may say no, they should have 2 hands. So when you talk about ISACA, we'll only focus on ISACA. There are some places you say that that IS auditor be technically competent. Okay, somebody may say no, IS auditor don't have to be technically competent. He has to be competent for his communications, for example. So when you say this IS auditor skills or anything, use the terms ISACA. For others it might be different stories altogether. Okay. So obviously technically competent is very important. And See, and when you are a CISA, you don't have to remember that the standards, guidelines, or any techniques, right? But important that you have to apply the basic professional ethics based on the standards or regulation you are following. Because there is no standard. PCI is not from ISACA. HIPAA is not from ISACA. But as a CISA auditor, you will be able to do any of them. Like for RBI guidelines, few of them in one of the bank, they have done everything. They have done on the audit. They said like, look, I cannot take your signature. I need a CISA auditor. The way, like, I may understand everything, right? But end of the day, I cannot give the signature on behalf of the chartered accountant.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the next thing is, one second, sorry, let me just drink little water.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you talk about the professional ethics, what are those ethics? What do you mean by professional ethics, right? Now, few things are very easily understood. We don't have to explain, right? Because we all are professional. Now, when somebody
Yeah.
like there are like no, you don't have to tell me what is professional ethics. It's not only about grooming nicely, speaking good English, being good communication, and understand the subject. When you talk about audit, professional ethics, there is little more than that, right? What are these? So basically, you have to encourage the compliance with proper standard and procedure, right? You just cannot say that, okay, right? Professional ethics means you are doing in the right way. Because as a CA, for example, you can also sign in somebody's, what is that called? ITR, right? Who has not given proper taxes. They do, I know, right? There are a lot of people. That is not professional ethics, right? He might be a gentleman, right? I'm not hurting any professions. It's there everywhere. Okay, it's there everywhere. It's there everywhere. There are doctors who say that the patient is for operations, though they don't need it.
Correct. Yeah.
There are CA who understand that is a financial fraud, still they sign it.
Correct.
There are bankers who understand if they request for loan, the loan. This is professional ethics we are talking about. We should be very clear, because when you go for the audit, every time we understand, or I personally see a lot of time that there are a lot of gaps. They say, sir, करिए यार, देखिए कर लेता हूँ. So yes, if you believe them, they will do it, or they are in a process, probably little bit. That's all, things you need to understand. As I said, a street vendor, you cannot force them for license, right?
Yeah.
But you can scare them and make them understand why it is important.
Correct.
And then you can tell them, at least if not abin the next month kar lena, or at least make the food quality proper, because if something goes wrong, you'll be still. So these are professional ethics. Okay. So you also need to do a proper due diligence. Okay. Now, systems, when I talk about proper due diligence, what do you understand?
Due diligence means with honesty, and you ensure that it adheres to all applicable standards or guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is due care?
Due care means you try to reduce the audit risk, or you put in efforts to assess the risk, pick up enough samples. You're putting in care into the work which you're doing, and not like in a haphazard or incomplete manner.
Can you come again, please?
You asked what is due care. So I said due care means, you are giving the required amount of attention to the work. You're identifying risk properly, and you are seeing that controls are in place, your sample sites are right. You're doing a complete wholesome audit and not just in an incomplete way just to issue a report.
Right. So basically, due care is something doing in the right way.
Right way. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So probably you are trying to do something reasonable to care or protest some interest and doing in the right way. And due diligence is making that practice, right? It's a
Yeah.
process, or it's basically practicing to make sure that you maintain that due care effort.
Okay. Okay.
Now, when you talk about a mother loves the child,
Yeah.
right? What is that?
Due care.
Exactly, right? And then
Yeah.
a employee loves the company, right? So there is a
Yeah.
difference. So basically, you have to understand that you are properly uh, done the due diligence, because if you have not done the proper due diligence, there will be a mistake, right? So,
Okay. Okay.
for example, what do I mean by due diligence? Let's say they said, boss, I want to do my financial audit. I have to file the ITR, for example. You said, okay, no, I'll do it, and I need X money and X amount of time without doing due diligence, okay? And while doing the audit, you said, okay, I need your bank statement. They said, I don't have a bank statement and I cannot get it. Can you file the ITR for him?
No, you should not.
You cannot even, right? You should
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
say, and you cannot because he doesn't have. And why it happened? Because
You
you have not
don't.
done diligence,
Correct.
right? You should have asked that, okay, you know that these are the things I need for you to have to properly do ITR, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now you have to serve the interest of the stakeholder. See, when you do a ITR for me, you have to serve my interest, no, not your interest. So you have to always remember, you have to serve the other person interest when you do audit. Now, serving interest, it doesn't mean that you are to do something wrong,
Okay.
right? Serving interest in a lawful manner.
Mm.
See, I have my accountant who takes care of my financial things. He suggests me a lot of things. He says, Pranab, don't take more than 20 lakhs in your account. For example, I'm giving. If you take more than 20 lakhs, it will be a GST is applicable for individual. I said, oh, so what can I do? Because I am supposed to get more than 20 lakhs. Then what he can say, no problem. Then I'll apply GST for you. No, that is not serving my interest. So he suggested one thing, why don't you put it in your parents' account? Because they are not earning that much of money, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it will not, end of the day, it's in your family. So that is serving my interest in a lawful manner.
Okay.
He should not say that, oh, take more than 20 lakhs, no problem, GST I'll handle. No, that's again serving my interest in unlawful way.
Okay.
You get my point, right? I don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
if
I get it.
okay. So this is
Yeah.
very important.
Okay.
Now, next, privacy and confidentiality is very important. That's always, whether you go to a doctor, whether you do a financial audit or information security audit. When you go to audit, it's a lot of informations. I'll tell you, when I've been on applications, I have seen so many credit card informations, credit card number, CVV, properly not stored. But during the audit, I
Okay.
can see that. Does it mean I'll take a picture and post in my Facebook or a LinkedIn?
No. No. No.
I have to maintain the privacy and confidentiality of the agreement, right?
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
have to disclose something, I have to, there is a way to disclose. And this information, I should not use it for my personal benefit, right? I should not go and say, hey, look, Dipti, I found your credit card information. Pay me 5,000 rupees or else I'll withdraw 5,000 rupees. Hey, 50,000 rupees. No, that way it doesn't work, right? I suppose I'm going for audit. They say they'll give me X amount for doing the audit. Found so many gaps. I said, oh, look, I'll go to the police and tell, or I'll put in the public domain. doesn't work that way, right?
Yeah, it does.
So these are like, see, this is the first domain. They first teach us how to be auditor. What are the basic etiquettes or quality or the ethics the auditor
Mm-mm.
should have. So you may not see a lot of terms in terms of technologies, but more of jargon here. But good to know. This is very
Yeah,
important.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And
Okay.
suppose you are a very good auditor. Okay. But
Mm.
you need to be competent very technically when you talk about CISA. Suppose you went there and said, you need an antivirus to
Mm-mm.
implement a control. They may come and ask you, what antivirus shall I implement? You should suggest them the proper one. You should not tell them, oh, upload some open source antivirus or something you don't know. They may ask you, I need a DLP solution, data loss prevention, for example. You said, oh,
Mm-mm.
look, people can copy your data. They say, and you suggested they implement a DLP because as an auditor, probably you know that DLP is a good thing. DLP is for data loss prevention. They ask which DLP. You have told a DLP which is not good.
Okay.
It's not the right way, right? You have to be competent at your respected field so that you
Okay.
can take the right decision.
Mm-mm.
You only take the right decision when you are competent. It is not
Yeah.
always looking at Excel and see if it is done, if it is done, if it is done. I've seen so many auditors report, trust me, they are compliant, but it's not up to that mark because
Mm-mm.
the person who have been doing it is not skilled in terms of technicality. He
Okay.
knows what to be done, but he doesn't know what exactly or how it to be done.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have to be competent. You say, like, I have seen, see, people make fool everyone. Everybody make everyone fool. Okay,
Mm.
everyone look for opportunity. I've seen one auditor.
Mm.
They have been asking. One of the requirement is you need to do a VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing.
Okay.
They ask the company, do you have VAPT report? That is what is required as per XYZ standard. They said, no, sir, we don't have. They said, okay, do it.
Okay.
Now the auditor knows that VAPT report is required, but he doesn't know how to do VAPT. So
Mm-mm.
that company, what they have done, they have shown him some report which is with some so many technical glitch, means things in between, and the first page it is written VAPT report. The auditor is like, oh, okay, technically clear because this is a VAPT report, but inside it is not a VAPT
Mm-mm.
report. But he was not
Yeah.
competent enough to understand it's a VAPT report.
Mm-mm.
Right? For example, see, suppose you become a CA, but you don't understand anything about accountancy, for example. Okay,
Okay.
some data entry operator or somebody had done the job for you. I know
Mm.
that people do it because CA do not do the tally entry. There are a lot of things to do, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Account. Yeah.
Somebody can give you the file, sir. This is the final report for Mr. Pranab. I need your signature. You said, okay. You see on
Mm.
top of ITR 2020-21. Okay, fine, done. No, this is not the way, right? You need to understand
Mm.
what is written. Okay, so this is what is competency.
Okay.
Okay, and then obviously you have to inform about the results and
Mm.
need to tell them how to fix it. Okay,
Mm-mm. Mm.
and our last pointer is obviously you have to give them the professional educations so that they
Mm-mm.
understand and they
Mm.
can maintain it. It is not that you go and say, look, I'm an auditor, this is what you have to do, this is how you have to do, and that. Because you
Mm-mm.
make sure that they understand and they maintain. So that one of the important factor for IS audit, okay, is
Mm-mm.
educate them. You make them understand. Awareness is very, very important. You talk about any audit, whether you talk about PCI, SOC 2, HIPAA, ISMS, ISO 27001, 3001, every audit system has one of the common thing is training and education.
Mm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have that also.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I will just do this much today. So
Okay.
tomorrow morning, once we start, we'll start from
Mm-mm.
our standard and guidelines.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
we'll try to cover as much as possible tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll wind up here today. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
tomorrow
tomorrow 7:30. Yeah.
Yeah, 7:30 morning. Standard
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
guidelines will start. And just before we start tomorrow's class, just wanted to check. Do I speak very fast, very slow, very loud,
No. No.
very
No.
loud?
It's okay. It's okay. It's all fine. No. No
And
issues.
are we able to communicate to each other properly? Are you getting
Yes.
my?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
I get your. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, great, Dipti.
Yeah.
Great start. I'll see you tomorrow, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll understand a lot more concept. Okay, happy learning.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Bye.